Now.
What do we want?
A cure.
When do we want it?
Now.
How do you spell savior?
O-E-D-I-P-U-S.
How do you spell savior?
O-E-D-I-P-U-S.
How do you spell savior?
O-E-D-I-P-U-S.
We want Oedipus. 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 We want Oedipus.
My people!
He's here.
Children! Why have you strung yourselves before these altar steps in supplication with your vows and garlands? A breath of incense rises from the city with sound prayer of lamentation. Children, I would not have you speak through messengers. Therefore, I myself have come to hear you. You there, speak for them all. Tell me what preys upon you. Whether you come in dread or crave some blessing, tell me and never doubt that I will help in every way I can. I should be heartless were I not moved to find you suppliant here.
Great Oedipus, O powerful king of Thebes. You see how all the ages of our people cling to your altar steps. Your own eyes must tell you Thebes is tossed upon a murdering sea and cannot lift her head from the death surge. A rust consumes the buds and fruits of the earth. The herds are sick, children die unborn, and labor is vain. The god of plague and fire raids like detestable lightning through the city, and all of Thebes is laid waste, all emptied, and all darkened. Death alone battens upon the misery of Thebes. You are not one of the immortal gods, we know, yet we have come to you to make our prayer, as to demand surest in mortal ways and wisest in the ways of God. You saved us from that Sphinx, that guilty singer, and the tribute we paid to her so long, yet you were never better informed than we, nor could we teach you. A God's touch, it seems, enabled you to help us. Therefore, almighty power, we turn to you. Find us our safety, find us our remedy, whether by counsel of the gods or of men. A king tested in the past can act in times of trouble, and act well. The noblest of men, restore life to your city. Ah, when your years of kingship are remembered, let them not say, we rose, but later fell. Keep the state from going down in the storm. Once, years ago, with happy augury, you brought us fortune. Be the same again. No man questions your power to rule, but rule over men, not over a dead city.
Poor children. You may be sure I know all that you long for in your coming here. Each one of you is sick, I know. Each one of you suffers in yourself alone. But my soul groans for the city, for myself, for you. I've been in tears a long while, and in my restless thought walked many ways. In all my search, I have found one remedy and have adopted it. I have sent Creon, king of the queen, to Delphi, Apollo's place of revelation, to learn there what act or pledge of mine may save the city. I have counted the days, and on this very day I am troubled, for they have been gone too long. What are they doing? They've overstayed their time.
At this instant, they tell me Creon is here.
O Lord Apollo, may their news be as fair as their faces radiant.
Good news, I gather. They are crowned with bay, the chaplet is thick with berries.
What answer do you bring us from the god?
A strong one. I can say great afflictions will turn out well if they are taken well.
What was the oracle? These vague words leave me hanging between hope and fear.
Is it your pleasure to hear me speak with these gathered around us? Shall we not go in?
Speak for them all. It is for them I suffer more than for myself.
The god commands us to expel from the land of Thebes an old defilement we are sheltering. It's a deathly thing, beyond cure. We must not let it feed upon us longer.
What defilement? How shall we rid ourselves of it?
By exile or death, blood for blood, it was murder that brought the plague wind onto the city.
Murder of whom? Surely the gods have named them.
My lord, Laos once ruled before you came to govern us.
I know. I learned of him from others. I've never met him.
He was murdered, and Apollo commands us now to take revenge upon whoever killed him.
Upon whom? Where shall we find a clue to the crime after so many years?
Here in this land, he says. Search reveals things that escape an inattentive man.
Tell me, was Laos murdered in his house, or in the fields, or in some foreign country?
He said he planned to make a pilgrimage. He did not return home again.
And was there no one? No witness, no companion to tell what happened.
They were all killed but one, and he got away so frightened he could remember one thing only.
What was the one thing? One may be the key to everything if we resolve to use it.
That a band of highwaymen attacked them, outnumbered them, and overwhelmed the king.
Strange that a highwayman should be so daring. Unless some faction here bribed them to do it.
We thought of that, but new troubles arose and we had no avenger.
What troubles could prevent you from tracking down the killer?
The riddling Phoenix song made us deaf to all mysteries but her own.
And once again, I must bring what is dark to light. I find it most fitting that Apollo shows, as you do, this guilt for the dead. You shall see how I stand by you, avenging this country and the god as well. Whoever killed Laos may lay violent hands on me. And soon, I act for the murdered king in my own interest. Come, children, leave these altar steps. One of you go, summon the people of Cadmos to gather here. I will do all I can to help. You may tell them that. So with the help of God, we shall be saved, or else we are indeed lost.
We have what we asked for. He's promised. Apollo, fulfill your words. Come down to us. Save us. Heal us.
What will you say to Thebes? Voice of Zeus? What sweet sounds will you convey your will from the golden Delphi to our bright city?
We're at the breaking point. Our minds are racked with dread. Our wild cries reach out to you, appealing God from Delos. In holy fear we ask, does your will bring forth a new threat? Or does an old doom come round as the years wheel by?
Say it. Great voice, you who answers always, speak as hope's golden child.
Athena, immortal daughter of Zeus, your help is
Delay her
first
death.
we ask.
Then Artemis, your sister who guards our land, throned in the heart of our city.
And Apollo, whose arrows strike from far off, are three defenders against them. Come now!
Once before, when ruin threatened, you drove the flames of fever from our city. Come to us now. The troubles I suffer are endless.
Plague, attacks, our troops.
I can think of no weapon that will keep a man safe.
Our rich earth shrivels when it grows.
Women in labor scream, but no children are born to ease their pain. One life after another flies.
You see them pass.
Like birds starving their strong wings, fast to flash by the death god's western shore.
Our city dies as its people die, these countless deaths. Her children rot in the streets, unmourned, spreading more death.
Young wives and gray mothers washed to our altars. Their cries can be heard from all sides, sobbing for help, each lost in her pain.
A hymn rings out to the healer,
An oboe answers.
keening in a courtyard.
Against all this, goddess, golden child of Zeus, send us the bright shining face of courage.
Force the raging killer, the god Ares, and turn his back and run from our land. He wields no weapons of war to kill us, but in his burning fever we shout in hot blast of his charge.
Blow Ares to the vast serum of Aphrodite. Banish him under a booming wind to the jagged harbors and the rolling seas of Thrace.
If night doesn't finish the god's black work, the day will finish it. Lightning lurks
bring your radiance into battle on bright, quick feet, down through the morning hills.
I call on the god whose hair is bound with gold, the god who gave us our name.
Bacchus, wine-flushed, who answers the Maenads' cries, running beside them. Bacchus, come now on fire, pine torch flaring.
Face with us the one God all gods hate, Ares!
Is this your prayer? It may be answered. Come, listen to me. Act as the crisis demands, and you shall have relief from these evils. Until now, I had been a stranger to the tale as I had been a stranger to the crime. How could I track down the killer without a clue? Now, friends, as one who became citizen after the murder, I make this proclamation to all Thebans. Should anyone know by whose hand Laios met his death, I direct that person to tell me everything. Let it stand as promised that no further trouble shall come to them, and that they may leave the land in safety. Moreover, should we find the killer to be foreign, let them not keep silent. They will have their reward from me. However, should they keep silent, should anyone fearing for themselves or for a friend disobey this edict, hear what I propose to do. I solemnly forbid the people of this country, where power and throne are mine, ever to receive that person or speak to them again, no matter who they are, or join in sacrifice or in prayer. As for the killer, I pray to God, whether it be a lurking thief or one of a number, I pray that that person's life be consumed in evil and wretchedness. As for myself, this curse applies no less, should the culprit be my guest here sharing my hearth. You have heard the penalty. I lay it upon you now to attend this, for my sake, for Apollo's, for the sick, sterile city which heaven has abandoned. Suppose the oracle gave you no command. Should this defilement go uncleansed forever? Your king had been destroyed, a noble king. You should have found the killer. Now, friends, I, having the power that he held before me, having his bed, begetting children there upon his wife as he would have, their son would have been my children's brother, if Laios had had luck in fatherhood. And now his bad fortune has struck him down. I say I take the son's part, as though I were his own son, to press the fight for him and see it won. As for those who fail me, may the gods deny you the fruit of the earth, fruit of the womb, and may they rot utterly. Let them be wretched as we are wretched, and worse. As for you loyal Thebans, and for all who find my actions right, I pray the favor of justice and of all the immortal gods.
Since I am under oath, my lord, I swear I did not do the murder. I cannot name the murderer. Apollo ordained the search. Why did he not say who the culprit was?
An honest question, but no man in the world can make the gods do more than the gods will.
There is an alternative, I think. A lady clairvoyant to the Lord Apollo, as we all know, is the skilled Tiresias. One might learn much about this from her Oedipus.
I'm not wasting my time. Creon spoke of this. I've already sent for them, twice in fact. It's strange they're not here.
The other matter, that old report seems useless.
What was that? I'm interested in all reports.
The king was said to have been killed by highwaymen.
I know, but there are no witnesses to that.
If the killer can feel a particle of dread, your curse will bring him out of hiding.
Whoever dared that act will fear no curse.
But there is one woman who may detect the criminal. This is Tiresias. This is the holy prophet in whom alone of all women truth was born.
Tiresias, seer, student of mysteries, secrets of the heavens, secrets of the earth, all that is taught and all that no man tells. Blind though you are, you know the city lies sick with plague, and we find that you alone can guard or save us. Perhaps you did not hear the messengers? Apollo, when we sent him, sent us back word that this great pestilence would lift, but only if we establish clearly the identity of those who killed Laius. They must be killed or exiled. Can you use bird flight or any art of divination to purify yourself and me and Thebes of this contagion? We are in your hands. There is no fairer duty than helping others in distress.
How dreadful knowledge of the truth can be when there's no help in truth! I knew this well, but did not act on it, else I should not have come.
What is troubling you? Why are your eyes so cold?
Let me go home. Bear your own fate, and I'll bear mine. It is better so, trust what I say.
What you say is ungracious and unhelpful to your native country. Do not refuse to speak.
When it comes to speech, your own is neither temperate nor opportune. I wish to be more prudent.
In God's name, we all beg you.
You are all ignorant! No! I will never tell you what I know. Now it is my misery, then it would be yours.
So you do know something and will not tell us? You would betray us all and wreck the state?
I do not intend to torture myself or you. Why persist in asking? You will not persuade me.
What a wicked old woman you are. Have you no feeling at all?
You call me unfeeling. If only you could see the nature of your own feeling!
Why? Who would not feel as I do? Who could endure your arrogance towards the city?
What does it matter? Whether I speak or not, it is bound to come.
And if it is bound to come, you are bound to tell me.
No, I will not. Rage as you please.
Rage? Why not? And I'll tell you what I think. You planned it. You had it done. You all but killed him with your own hands. If you had eyes, I'd say the plot is yours and yours alone.
So, I charge you then, abide by the proclamation you have made. From this day forth, never speak again to these men or to me. You yourself are the pollution of this country.
You dare say that? How can you possibly think you have some way of going free after speaking such insolence?
I speak what I know.
Who told you this, birds?
You did. You made me speak.
Speak what? Let me hear it again more clearly.
Was it not clear before?
I do not understand it. Say it again.
I say that you are the murderer whom you seek.
Now twice you have spat out infamy. You'll pay for it.
Would you care for more? Do you wish to be really angry?
Say what you will. Whatever you say is worthless.
I say you live in hideous shame with those most dear to you. You cannot see the evil.
Can you go on babbling like this forever?
I can, if there is power in truth.
There is. But not for you. Not for you, you sightless, witless, senseless mad old woman.
You are the madman. There is no one here who will not curse you as you curse me.
Tell me, who made these fine discoveries? Creon or someone else?
Creon is no threat. You weave your own doom.
Creon has brought this decrepit fortune teller, this collector of dirty pennies, this prophet fraud. Oh, she is no more clairvoyant than I am. Tell us, has your mystic mummery ever approached the truth? When that hellcat the Sphinx was performing here, what help were you to these people? Her magic was not the first person to come by. It demanded a real exorcist. Your birds, what good are they? Or the gods, for that matter. But I came by. Oedipus, the simple man who knows nothing. I thought it out for myself. Your birds, what good are they? This is the man you think you can destroy? That you should be closer to Creon when they are king? You and your friend Creon, it seems to me, will suffer most. If you're not an old woman, you would pay already for your plot.
We cannot see that her words or yours have been spoken except in anger, Oedipus, and of anger we have no need. How to accomplish the God's will best, that is what most concerns us.
You are king. But where argument's concerned, I am your woman, as much a king as you. I am not your servant, but Apollo's. I have no need of Creon or Creon's name. Listen to me. You mock my blindness, do you? But I say that to you. cannot see the wretchedness of your own life, nor in whose house you live, no, nor with whom. Who are your father and mother? Can you tell me? You do not know the blind wrongdoings you have done them, on earth and in the world below. But the double lash of your parents' curse will whip you so far out of this land with only night upon your precious eyes. Your cries, then, where will they be heard? Be angry then. Curse Creon, curse my words. But I tell you that no man that walks upon this earth shall be rooted out more horribly than you.
Am I to take this from her? Demand she take you out of this place, out of my sight!
I would not have come if you had not asked me.
Could I have known that you would come here and speak nonsense? Make a fool of yourself and of me?
A fool. Your parents thought me sane enough.
My parents again! Wait. Who were my parents?
This day will bring you a father and break your heart.
Your infantile riddles. Your damned abracadabra!
You were a great man once at solving riddles.
Mock me with that if you like. You'll see it true.
It was true enough it brought about your ruin.
But if it saved the city?
Boy, give me your hand.
Yes, boy! Lead her away. While you are here, we can do nothing. Don't leave us in peace.
I will go when I've said what I have to say. How can you hurt me? And I tell you again, the man you are looking for, the damned man, the murderer of Laos, that man is in Thebes. To your mind, he is foreign-born, but it will soon be shown that he is a Theban. A revelation that will fail to please. A blind man who has his eyes now. A penniless man who is rich now. He will go tapping the strange earth with his staff. To the children who he lives with, brother and father the very same. Who bore him, son and husband the very same. Who came to his father's bed wet with his father's blood. Enough! Go think that over. If later you find an error in what I have said, you may say that I have no skill in prophecy.
What woman provokes the speaking rock of Delphi?
This crime that sickens speech is the work of her bloody hands!
Now, her feet will need to outrun a storm of wild horses, for Apollo is running her down, armed with bolts of fire.
She and the feet close in, dread gods who never miss! From snowfields high on Parnassus, the word blazes out to all.
Tracked on the man no one can see.
He takes cover in thick brush.
He charges up the mountain, forward to its rocking caves, going his bleak, haunted ways, struggling to escape the doom Earth spoke from her sacred mouth.
But that doom buzzes low, never far from his ear.
Fear is what the woman who reads birds makes us feel. Fear we can't fight.
We can't accept what she says, but have no power to challenge her.
We thrash in doubt.
We can't even see the present clearly,
Much less the future. And we've heard of no feud embittering the house of Oedipus Corinth against the house of Laius here. No past troubles, and none now. No proof that would make us blacken our king's fame as he seeks to avenge our royal house for this murder not yet solved.
Zeus and Apollo make no mistakes when they predict what people do.
But there is no way to tell whether an earthbound prophet sees more of the future than we can. Though in knowledge and skill, one may surpass another.
But never not, till this charge is proved against him, will I give credence to a man who blames Oedipus.
All of us saw his brilliance prevail when the winged virgin Sphinx came at him. He passed the test that won the people's love. My heart can't find him guilty. My heart can't find him
My
guilty.
heart can't find him guilty.
My heart can't find him guilty.
My heart can't find him guilty.
Thebans! I am told of heavy accusations brought against me by King Oedipus. I am not the kind of person to bear this tamely. If in these present difficulties he finds me guilty of any harm to him that I have caused through anything I have said or done, why then, I have no more wish to live. The matter is grave. The fact is that I am being called a traitor to the state, to my fellow citizens, to my friends.
Wait and see. He may have
you not the one who heard him say that I was the one who bribed the old prophet into lying?
The thing was said, I do not know how seriously.
But you were watching him! Were his eyes steady? Did he look sane?
I do not know! I cannot judge the behavior of great men. Here is the king himself.
So you dare come back? Why you have the nerve to come to my house, you murderer? Do you think I do not know that you plotted to kill me? Plotted to steal my throne? Tell me in God's name, my coward? A fool that you think you should accomplish this? A fool not to see your slippery game. A coward not to fight back when I sought. You are a fool, Creon. Hoping without support or friends to get a throne.
Now listen to me. You have talked, let me talk too.
You speak well, but I find it hard to learn from the deadliest enemy I have.
That above all, I must dispute with you.
That above all, I will not hear you deny.
If you think there is anything good in being stubborn, then I say you are wrong.
You think you can sin against your own kind and not be punished for it? I say you are mad.
I agree, but tell me, what did I do to you?
You had me sent for that wizard, did you not?
I did. I would do it again.
Very well. Now tell me, how long has it been since Laos?
What of Laos?
Since he died in that attack by the road.
It was a long time, long ago.
And this prophet, was she practicing here then?
She was, and with honor, as she does now.
Did she speak of me at that time?
No, at least not when I was present.
But the inquiry! I suppose you held one.
We did, and we learned nothing.
Why did she not speak of me then?
I do not know, and I'm not the kind of person that holds their tongue when they have no facts to go on.
There is one fact you do know, and you can tell it.
What fact is that? If I know it, you shall have it.
If she were not involved with you, she could not say it was I who murdered Laos.
If she's the one that says that, then you are the one that knows it. Now it is my turn to question you.
Put no questions. I am no murderer.
First, you married my sister,
I married your sister.
and you rule the kingdom equally with her.
Everything she wants, she has from me.
And I am third, equal to both of you.
That is why I call you a bad friend.
No! Reason it out as I have done. Think of this. Who would prefer an anxiety-filled life to a king, to one that lets them sleep at night? Certainly not I. I have never longed for the king's power, only his rights. Would any wise man differ from me in this? As matters stand, I have my way in everything, with your consent and no responsibilities. If I were a king, I'd be a slave to policy. How can I desire a scepter more than what is now mine? The influence that I have. No, I have not gone mad. I need no honors except those with the prerequisites I have now. I am welcome everywhere. Every man salutes me, and those who want your favor seek my ear, since I'm the one who knows how to manage what they ask. Should I exchange this ease for that anxiety? Besides, no sober mind is treasonable. I hate anarchy and would never deal with any man who likes it. Test what I have said. Go to Delphi yourself. Find out whether I brought back the oracle's exact words. And as for this other thing, if I'm found guilty of treason with Tiresias, then sentence me to death. You have my word, it is a sentence I should cast my vote for, but not without evidence. You do wrong when you take good men for bad, bad men for good. A true friend, thrown aside. Why, life itself is not more precious. In time you will know this well, for time and time alone shows the just man. Those scoundrels are discovered in a day.
This is well said, and a prudent man would ponder it. Judgments too quickly formed are dangerous.
But are they not quick in their duplicity? And shall I not be quick to parry them? Would you have me stand still, hold my peace, and let them win everything through my inaction?
And you want what? What is it then? To banish me?
No, not exile. It is her death I want, so all the world can see what treason means.
You will persist then. You will not believe me.
How can I believe you?
Then you are a fool.
To save myself?
Oh, injustice, think of me.
Oh, you are evil carnate.
But suppose you are wrong.
But still I must rule.
Not if you rule badly.
Oh, city, city.
It is my city too!
Now, my lords, be still. I can see the Queen Jocasta coming from her palace chambers, and it is time she came for the sake of you both. This dreadful quarrel can be resolved through her.
Poor fools! What wicked din is this, with thieves sick to death? Is it not shameful that you would take up some private quarrel here? Go into the house, and you, Creon, go now. We will have no more of this tumult over nothing.
Nothing? No, sister, what your husband has planned for me is one of two great evils, exile or death.
They're right. Why, woman, I have caught them squarely plotting against my life.
No! Let me die! Of course I never caused you harm!
Believe it, Oedipus. For the name of the gods, respect this oath of theirs. For my sake, for the sake of these people here.
Open your mind to her, my lord. Be ruled by her, I beg you.
What would you have me do?
Respect Creon's word. They have never spoken like a fool, and now they have sworn an oath.
You know you ask?
I do.
Speak on then.
Groundless rumors should not be used by you to scorn a friend who has sworn their innocence.
You know what you say means death for me, or exile at least.
No, I swear by the sun God first in heaven, may I die friendless and accursed, the worst of deaths, if ever I meant that. It is the withering fields that hurt my sick heart. Must we bear all these ills, and now your bad blood as well?
Then let them go, and let me die, or let me be driven by them in shame from the land of Thebes. It is your unhappiness and not their talk that touches me. As for them, wherever they go, hatred will follow them.
Ugly and yielding as you are ugly in rage. Natures like yours cheaply torment themselves.
Can you not go? Can you not leave me?
I can! You do not know me, but the city knows me, and in its eyes, I am just, if not in yours.
Lady Jocasta, did you not ask the king to go to his chambers?
First, tell me what has happened.
There was suspicion without evidence, and yet it rankled as even false charges will.
On both sides?
On both.
But what was said?
Oh, let it rest. Let it be done with. Have we not suffered enough?
I know you mean well when you calm me, but do you realize where it will lead?
Oedipus, it is not once only I have told you. I should count myself unwise to the point of madness should I now forsake you. You, under whose hand, in the storm of another time, our dear land sailed up free, but now stand fast at the helm.
In God's name, Oedipus, inform your wife as well. Why are you so set in this hard anger?
I will tell you. For none of these men deserve my confidence as you do.
Go on, if you can make this clear to me.
Is Creon. They charge me with the murder of Laios.
Have they some knowledge, or do they speak from hearsay?
They would not commit themselves to such a charge, but they brought that damnable soothsayer to tell their story.
Then set your mind at rest. I tell you that where soothsayers are involved, you will not find any man whose craft gives knowledge of the unknowable. Here is my proof. An oracle was reported to Laius once, I will not say from Apollo himself, but from his appointed ministers at any rate, that Laios' doom would be death at the hands of his own son, born of his flesh and of mine. Now you remember the story. Laios was killed by marauding strangers where 3 highways meet. But his child had not been on this earth 3 days before the king had pierced the baby's ankles and left him to die on a lonely mountainside. Therefore, Laios was not killed by his son as he had feared. That is what prophets and prophecies are worth. Have no dread of them.
How strange, a shadowy memory crossed my mind as you were speaking just now. It chilled my heart.
What do you mean? What memory do you speak of?
If I understand you, Laius was killed at a place where 3 roads meet.
So it was said. We have no later story.
Where did it happen?
Focus, it is called.
When?
Not long after you came and proved your right to succession here.
What net has God been leaving for me?
Oedipus, why does this trouble you?
Do not ask me at first. Tell me how old he was, and what he looked like.
He was tall, his hair just touched with white. His form was not unlike your own.
I believe I myself have been accursed by my own ignorant edict.
You speak strangely. It makes me tremble to look at you, my lord.
I do not believe that the blind woman cannot see. But I should know better if you were to tell me.
Anything, though I dread to hear you ask it.
Was he lightly escorted, or did he ride with a large company as a ruler should?
There were 5 of them, a herald and a single chariot which he was driving.
That makes it plain enough. But who? Who told you how it happened?
A household servant, the only one to escape.
Is still a servant of ours?
No, for when he came here and saw you in Laius' place, he came to me and touched my hand with his, and begged me to send him to the frontier district where only the shepherds go, as far away from the city as I could send him. And I granted his wish, for although he was only a household slave, he had earned more than his favor at my hand.
Can they be called back quickly?
Easily, but why?
I fear I myself have taken too much upon myself without inquiry. I wish to consult them myself.
Then he shall come, but don't I have the right to know what so deeply disturbs you, my lord?
Polybus of Corinth was my father. My mother is Dorian, Merope. I grew up chief among men of Corinth until a strange thing happened. Not worth my passion, maybe, but strange. At a feast, the drunken man, maundering in his cups, cries that I am not my father's son. I contained myself that night, yet I felt anger and a sinking heart. The next day I questioned my parents. They stormed, calling the slanderous rant of a fool, and this relieved me. Yet it always remained aching in my mind. I knew there was talk. I could not rest. And finally, saying nothing, I went to the oracle at Delphi. The god dismissed my question without reply. He spoke of other things. Some were dreadful, unbearable, as that I should be the man who would lie with his mother, breed children from whom all men would turn their eyes, and that I should kill my father. I wandered farther and farther away to a land where I would never see the evil sung by the oracle, until I came to this country, where, so you say, Laios was killed. I will tell you what happened that day, my lady. There were 3 highways coming together at a place I passed, and there a herald and a chariot with horses, and a man such as you described seated in it. As the groom leading the horses came over, he forced me off the road at his lord's command. As the charioteer lurched over towards me, I struck him in my rage. The old man saw it and brought his double goad down upon my head. He was paid back and more. Swinging my club in this right hand, I knocked him out of his car. He rolled to the ground. I killed him. I killed them all. And if this stranger and Laios were king, then where is a man more visible than I? Or hated by the gods? Citizen and alien alike must never shelter or speak to me again. I must be shunned by all. I myself have brought this malediction upon myself. Think of it. I have touched you with these hands. These same hands that killed your husband. What defilement! I was born so, to this fate, and who can deny the savagery of the gods?
We too, my lord, have felt dismay at this, but there is hope. You have yet to hear the shepherd.
Indeed, I fear no other hope is left me.
What do you hope from him when he comes?
This much. If his account of the story tallies with yours, then I am clear.
What was it that I said of such importance?
My marauders who said killed the king, according to this man's story. If he maintains that still, that there were several, then clearly the guilt is not mine. I was alone. But if he says that one man single-handedly did it, evidence all points to me.
Then you can be sure that he said there were several. And can he take that story back now? He cannot, for the whole city heard it as plainly as I did. But suppose he tries to alter some detail of it. He cannot ever show that Laios' death fulfilled the oracle. For it was my child that died first. Even though it was Apollo that said the child would kill his father, it was my baby who died first. No. From now on, where soothsayers are involved, I would not pay a second thought to any.
You may be right. But come, let someone send for the shepherd at once. This matter must be settled.
Then he shall come. I would not wish to cross you in anything, especially not in this. Let us go in.
Let me be reverent in the ways of right.
Lowly the paths I journey on. Let all my words and actions keep the laws of the pure universe from highest heaven handed down.
For heaven is their bright nurse, those generations in the realms of light. Ah, never of mortal kind were they begot.
Nor are these slaves of memory lost in sleep.
Their father is greater than time and ages not.
The tyrant is a child of pride, who drinks in the great sickening cup, recklessness and vanity.
Until from his high crest headlong he plummets to the dust of hope.
That strong man is not strong.
Let no fair ambition be denied. May God protect the wrestler for the state, in government, in public policy, who will fear God and on his ordinance wait.
Haughtiness and the high hand of this Dane tempt and outrage God's holy law. And any mortal man who dares hold no immortal power and awe will be caught in a net of pain, the price for which his levity is sold. Let each man take due earnings then, and keep his hands from holy things, and from blasphemy stand apart, else the crackling blast of heaven blows on his head and on his desperate heart. Though fools will honor impious men, in their cities no tragic poet sings.
Shall we lose faith in Delphi's obscurities? We, who had heard the world's court discredited and the sacred wood of Zeus and Elis praised no more.
These deeds and strange prophecies must make a pattern yet to be understood.
Zeus, if indeed you are Lord of all, throned over night and day, mirror this in your endless mind. Our masters call
the oracle.
Words on the wind and the Delphic vision blinds. Their hearts no longer know Apollo, and their reverence for the gods has died away.
My lords, this thought has come to me to visit the altars of the gods, bearing these flowers as a suppliant and this jewelry. Our king is not himself. His noble soul is overwrought with fantasies of dread, else he would consider the new prophecies in light of the old. He will listen to any voice that speaks disaster, but my advice goes for nothing. To you then, Apollo, I turn in prayer. Receive these offerings. Our hearts are heavy when we see our leader distracted, as hopeless sailors are terrified by the confusion of their helmsmen.
Friends, no doubt you can direct me. Where shall I find the house of Oedipus? Or, better still, where is the king himself?
It is this very place, stranger. He is inside. This is his wife and mother of his children.
I wish her happiness in a happy household, blessed in all the fulfillment of her marriage.
I wish the same to you. Your courtesy deserves a like good fortune. Now tell us, why have you come? What have you to say to us?
That I am from Corinth, and the news have bring aught to mean of joy to you, though it may be you will find some grief in it.
What do you mean? How can it possibly do both?
The word is, the people from the Isthmus intend to call Oedipus to be their king.
But old King Polybus, is he not reigning still?
No, death has laid him out in a tomb.
Go quickly. Tell this to your masters. Oh, you oracles of the gods, where are you now? This was the man whom Oedipus long ago feared so, fled so, in dread of destroying him. But it was another fate by which he died.
Here's Procassa. Why have you sent for me?
Come, listen to what this man says and tell me what has become of the solemn oracle. He has come from Corinth to announce your father's death.
Is it true, stranger? Tell me in your own words.
I cannot say it more clearly. The king is dead.
Oh, was it by treason or an attack of illness?
A little thing brings old men to their rest.
It was sickness then.
Yes, and it's many years.
Ah! Why should any man respect the Pythian hearth? Give heed to the birds that jangle above his head. They prophesied that I should kill Polybus, kill my father, but he is dead and buried, and I am here. I never touched him, never! Unless he died of grief for my departure, and then had sent through me. No, Polybus has dragged those worthless oracles down to Hades with him.
Had I not told you so?
You did. It was my fake heart that betrayed me.
From now on, never think of those things again.
Yet, must I not fear my mother's bed?
Why should any man be afraid? Chance rules our lives. Therefore, a man should live only in the present day. Have no more fear of sleeping with your mother. How many men in dreams have not lain with their mothers? No reasonable man is troubled by such things.
That may be true, but only... If only she were not still alive. But she is alive, and I cannot help my dread.
Tell me, who is this woman that you fear?
An oracle of the gods. A dreadful saying.
Can you tell me, or are you sworn to silence?
I will tell you. Apollo, through his oracle, prophesies that I should be the man who would lie with his mother and kill his father. I've stayed clear of Corinth all these years. No harm has come, but it would have been sweet to see my parents again.
And this is the fear that kept you out of Corinth?
Would you have me kill my father?
As for that, you must be reassured for the news I gave you.
If you could reassure me, I would reward you.
I had that in mind, I will confess. Though I thought that I could count on you for when you returned to Corinth as king.
No! I will never go near my parents again.
Son, you still do not know what you're doing.
I tell you, I fear the oracle may come true.
And you fear that guilt may come about you through your parents?
Exactly that, old man. I live in constant fear.
Don't you know your fears are groundless?
Groundless? Am I not my parents' son?
Polybus. He was not your father.
Not my father.
No. No more your father than the man speaking to you right now.
But you're nothing to me.
Neither was he.
Why did he call me son?
Long ago, he took you from my hands as a gift.
Then how could he love me so?
He had no children of his own to love.
But what of you? Where did you get me? Did you buy me or find me by chance?
I came upon you in the woody vales of Cathiron,
What were you doing there?
tending my flocks.
Migrant hired work flocks?
But your savior, son, that day.
From what did you save me?
Your ankles should tell you that.
Stranger, why do you speak of that child with pain?
I pulled the skewer and pinned your feet together.
God, I've had that mark as long as I can remember. God, who was it? Was it my mother or my father who did it?
I do not know. The man who gave you to me can tell you better than I.
It was not you that found me, but another?
Another shepherd gave it to me.
Do you know who he was? Can you tell me?
I think the man was said to be one of Laius' people.
Laius, who was king here years ago?
Yes, King Laius. The man was said to be one of his herdsmen.
Is he still alive? Can I see him?
I do not know. These people here know best about such things.
Does anyone here know about the man he's talking about? Have you seen him in the fields or in the town? If you have, tell me. It is time things are made plain.
I think the man he means is that same shepherd you have already asked to see. Jocasta perhaps could tell you something.
Do you know anything about him, lady? Is that the man we have summoned? Is that the man the shepherd means?
I think of him. Don't listen to him. Ignore his words. Forget he said them.
How can you say that when the clues to my true birth are in my hands?
For God's love, let us have no more question. Is your own life nothing to you? Oh, my own is pain enough for me to bear.
You'll be fine. Suppose my mother is slave, and born of slaves. No baseness can touch her.
Listen to me, I beg you, do not do this thing.
I will not listen. The truth must be made known.
I'm thinking only of what's best for you.
What's best for me exasperates me
You
now.
are fatally wrong. May you never learn who you are.
Go, one of you. Get the shepherd at once. Let us leave this woman to brag of her royal name.
Miserable! That is the only word I have for you now. That is the only word I can ever have.
Why has she left us, Oedipus? Why has she gone in such a passion of sorrow? I fear this silence, something dreadful may come of it.
Let it come. However base my birth, I must know about it. The queen, like a woman, is perhaps ashamed to think of my low origin. But I am a child of luck. I cannot be dishonored. Luck is my mother. The passing months, my brothers have seen me rich and poor. If this is so, how can I wish I were someone else? How can I not want to know my true birth?
By the gods of Olympus, if I have a prophet's range of eye and mind!
Tomorrow's moonlight will shine on you, Catairon.
Oedipus will honor you, his native mountain, his nurse, his mother.
Nothing will keep us from dancing then. Mountain, joyful to our king.
Oh, we call on you, Apollo! Be the cause of our joy!
My son, who was your mother? Which nymph bore you to Pan, the mountain rover? Was it the bride of Apollo to whom you were born in the grassy highlands? Or did Bacchus, lord of Kylie, steal you from nymphs of Helicon, whose games he often shares?
Sirs, is it possible to recognize a man I've never met? I think I see him coming, the shepherd we want.
I know him. He was Laius' man. You can trust him.
First, you from Corinth. Is this the man we were discussing?
This is the very man.
Come here. No, look at me. You must answer everything I ask. You belong to Laius?
Yes. born his slave, brought up in his house.
What kind of work did you do for him?
I was a shepherd of his most of my life.
In what region did you normally work?
Sometimes a tyrant, sometimes in hills nearby.
Do you remember seeing this man out there?
What would he be doing there? Which man?
This man standing here, have you seen him before?
At least not to my recollection.
And that's not strange, my lord. But I'll refresh his memory. He must remember when we two spent 3 whole seasons, March to September, on Kithaeron or thereabouts. He had 2 flocks, I had 1. Each autumn, I'd drive mine back home, and he would go back with his to Laius' sheepfold. Is this not true? Just as I have described it?
True. Yes, but it was all so long ago.
Well then, you must remember back in those days, when you gave me that baby boy to bring up as my own?
What if I did? Why would you ask me that?
King Oedipus was once that little child.
Damn you, shut up and say nothing!
No more of that! It is your tongue that needs watching, not this man's.
My master, my king, what is it I've done wrong?
You did not answer his question about the boy.
He is trying to make something out of nothing.
Come speak plainly or we'll go hard with you.
Unhappy king, what more do you wish to learn?
Did you give him the child he speaks of?
I did, and I would have to God I died that very day.
You will die now unless you speak the truth.
Yet if I speak the truth, I am worse than dead.
I think this man is deliberately stalling.
No, I told you already that I gave him the boy.
Where did you get him? From your house? From somewhere else?
No, not mine. A man gave him to me.
Is that man here? Whose house did he belong to?
For God's love, my king, do not ask me anymore.
You're a dead man if I don't ask you again!
Then, the child was from the palace of Laios.
A slave child? Or child of his own line?
Help me! I'm about to speak terrible words!
I must hear!
If you must be told, then it was said that it was Laios' child. But it is your wife who can tell you more about that.
Did she give it to you?
My lord, she did.
Do you know why?
I was told to let it die.
Kill her own child?
She heard the prophecies.
Tell me.
It was said that the child would kill his own father.
Why did you give him to this man?
I pitied the baby, my king. I thought that he would take him far away, back to his own country. He saved him, but for what a fate. If you are what this man says you are, no man living is more wretched than Oedipus.
All! It has happened! It was all true! Oh, wait, let this be the last time I look on you! You know who I am now! The child who must not be born! I killed where I must not kill! I loved where I must not love! Ah!
Men and women who live and die. I set no value to your lives!
Which one of you, reaching for blessedness that lasts, finds more than what seems blessed?
Live in that seeming for a while, then it vanishes.
Your fate teaches me this, Oedipus! You suffering man! The story God spoke through you! Never call any man fortunate!
Oh, Zeus, no man drew a bow like this man.
He shot his arrow home when in power, pleasure, wealth, he killed the virgin Sphinx who sung the gods' dark oracles. Her claws were hooked and sharp.
He fought off death in our land. He towered against its threats.
Since those times, I've called you my king, honoring you mightily, my Oedipus, who wielded the great might of Thebes.
But now, nobody's story shares the same sorrow as yours. Oh, my so famous Oedipus. The same great harbor that welcomed you first as child, then as father, tumbling upon your bridal bed. How could the furrows your father plowed, doomed man? How could they suffer so long in silence?
Time, who sees all, caught you living a life you never will. Time now damns this marriage, which is no marriage, where a father-child fathered children himself.
Oh, son of lambs, in which I never seen you! I filled my lungs. I sang with all the power of the play truth in my heart. Once you gave me a new breath, oh my Oedipus. But now you close my eyes in darkness.
Lords of Thebes, most honored in this land, what horrors are yours to see and hear, what weight of sorrow to be endured, if true to your birth you venerate the line of Labdacos. No rivers can wash this house clean, not the Danube, not the Rion. Its shelters now, or soon, must bring to light evil not done involuntarily, but willed. The greatest griefs are those we cause ourselves.
Surely, friend, we have grief enough already. What new sorrow do you mean?
The queen is dead!
Miserable queen! How did she die?
She killed herself! The full horror of what happened you cannot know, for you were not there to see it. But I, who did, will tell you as clearly as I can how she met her death. Oh. When she had left us, in passionate silence, passing through the court, her hair clutched by the fingers of both hands, she ran to her apartment in the house. She closed the doors behind her. Then, by that bed where long ago the fatal son was conceived, that son who should bring about his father's death, we heard her call upon Laos, dead so many years, and heard her wail for the double fruit of her marriage, a husband by her husband, children by her child. Exactly how she died, I do not know, for Oedipus burst in, shouting, distracting us from her misery. We looked on, stunned, as he plowed through us. From one to another of us he went, begging a sword, asking for the wife who was not his wife, the mother whose womb had carried both his own children and himself. He hurled his weight as though wrenched out of himself. At the twin doors, the bolts gave, and he rushed in. And there we saw her hanging, her body swaying from the cruel cord she had noosed about her neck. A great sob broke from him, heartbreaking to hear as he loosed the rope and lowered her to the ground. I would blot out from my mind what happened next, for the king ripped from her gown the golden brooches that were her ornament, and raised them, and punched them into his eyes back through the sockets, crying, no more shall you look on the misery about me, the horrors of my own doing. Too long you have known the faces of those whom I should never have seen, too long been blind to those for whom I was searching. From this hour, go in darkness! And as he spoke, he beat at his eyes, not once, but many times, and the blood spattered his cheeks, bursting from his ruined sockets like red hail. What this man and this woman did broke so much hell loose. The old happiness of the house of Labdacos was happiness enough. Where is it today? It is all wailing and ruin, disgrace, death, all whatever misery we have a name for is here.
Is he in agony still? Is there no rest for him?
He is calling for someone to open the doors wide so that all the children of Cadmus may look upon their father's murderer. Their mothers. No, I cannot say it. and he will see a thing that would crush a heart of stone.
Dreadful indeed for men to see. Never have my own eyes looked on a sight so full of fear. Oedipus! What madness came upon you? What demon winked on your life with heavier punishment than a mortal man can bear? No, I cannot even look at you, poor ruined one. And I would speak, question, wonder if I were able. No, you make me shudder.
God! God, is there a sorrow greater? Where shall I find harbor in this world? My voice is hurled far in a dark wind. Oh God, how far have you thrown me?
To a hard place. Hard to watch, hard to hear.
Cloud of night, never to be turned away. Night coming on, I cannot tell how. Night like a shroud. My fair winds brought me here. Oh God, again the pain of spikes where I had sight. The bloody pain of memory never to be gouged out.
It is no wonder you feel nothing but pain now, both in your mind and in your flesh.
Ah, dear friend, are you still faithful even yet you alone? Are you standing near me? Will you stay here, patient to care for the blind? The blind man! Yet even blind, I know who it is, who accompanies me by the voice's tone. Though in your darkness hide the comforter.
You terrify me. How could you put your eye out? What god drove you to it?
Apollo. Apollo! Dear children, the god was Apollo! He brought this sick fate upon me, but the blinding hand was my own. How could I bear to see when all my sight was horror everywhere?
Everywhere, that is true.
And now what is left? Images? Love? A greeting even sweet to the senses? Is there anything? No, friends. Lead me away. Leave the great rack in hell of Oedipus and the gods hate.
You're broken by what's happened. Broken by what's happening in your own mind. I wish I had never even known you.
Death take the man who unbound my feet at that hillside and delivered me from death to life. What life? If only I had died. This weighted monstrous doom could not have dragged me and my darlings down.
I would have wished the same.
Never to have come here, wet with my father's blood. Oh, never to have been the man they call his mother's husband. Oh, cursed! Oh, child of evil! Oh, never to have entered that wretched bed, the self-same one. More primal than sin itself, this felt to me.
I do not know what words to offer you. You were better dead than alive and blind.
Do not counsel me anymore! I did the right thing. If I had eyes, how could I bear the sight of my father when I came to the house of death? Or my mother, for I sinned against them both so vilely, I could not make my peace by strangling my own life. Or my children, born as they were, do you think they'd be sweet to my eyes? Oh, never, never! Nor this town with its eye walls, nor the holy images of the gods. I severed myself from these joys when I banished the vile killer. Myself. If I could deafen my ears, I would. I'd deaden my whole body. Go deaf and blind to shut these evils out. For the love of God, conceal me, or kill me, or hurl me into the sea, away from men's eyes forever. Come, lead me. You need not fear touch me. Of all men, I alone can bear this guilt.
Creon is here now. As for what you ask, they may decide the course to take. Only they are left to protect the city in your place.
Alas, how can I speak to them? What right have I to beg their courtesy whom I have deeply wronged?
I have not come to mock you, Oedipus, or to reproach you either. You, standing there, if you have lost all respect for man's dignity, at least respect the flame of Lord Helios. Do not allow this pollution to show itself openly here, and affront to the heavens' rain in the light of day. No! Take him into the house as quickly as you can, for it is proper that only the close kindred see his grief.
I beg you, since your courtesy ignores my dark expectation, visiting this man of all men with mercy, most execrable, give me what I ask. For your sake, not for mine.
And what is it that you come to me begging for?
Drive me out of this country as quickly as may be, to a place where no human voice can ever greet me.
Oh, I should have done that long before now. Only God's will had not been wholly revealed to me.
His command is plain. The parricide must be destroyed. I am that evil man.
That is the sense of it, yes. But as things are, we had best discover clearly what is to be done.
You will learn more about a man like me.
You are now ready to listen to the God.
I will listen. But it is to you I must turn to for help. I beg you, hear me. The woman is in there. Give her whatever funeral you think proper. She is your sister. But let me go, Creon. Let me purge my father's Thebes of the pollution of my living here, and go out to the wild hills, to Kitaira, which has won such fame with me, the tomb my mother and father appointed for me. And let me die there, as they willed I should. And I know death will never come to me, either sickness or any natural way. I have been preserved for some unthinkable fate. But let that be. As for my sons, you need not care for them. They are men now. They will find some way to live, but my poor daughters, who have never been parted from their father, who have shared my table, take care of them, Creon, do this for me. Will you let me touch them with my hands the last time and let us weep together? Could I but touch them, they would be mine again as when I had eyes.
Enough! You have wept enough! Now go within.
I must, but it is hard.
Time eases all things.
You know my mind then?
Speak what you desire.
Send me from Thebes!
God grant that I may!
Since God hates me.
No, he will grant you your wish.
You promise?
I cannot speak beyond my knowledge.
Then lead me in.
Think no longer that you are in command here, but how when you were, you served your own destruction.
Thebans, that man was the same Oedipus whose great mind solved the famous riddle. He was a most powerful man. Which of us seeing his glory, his prestige, should not wish his luck could be ours? Now look at what wreckage the seas of savage trouble have made of his life. To know the truth of a man, wait until you have seen his life end. On that